What up, though? And welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. We're brought to you by Lions Nation Unite, baby. Go over and check that out, man. It's the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. Today's show, we're going to start our season review of the Lions 2021-2022 season. We're going to start with the offense, man. Check out some of that stuff. LL going to hold it down with the main topic. He's going to talk offense overall. He's going to talk about those quarterbacks because you got to talk about Jared Goff. I'm going to hit up those wide receivers and running backs. Coach Mike going to tackle those offensive linemen and those tight ends. But we're going to have a good show. But before we get into all that content, I got to bring in the crew. Y'all see him down there at the bottom of the screen. Y'all know who it is. He is the man, the myth, the legend, cooler than a polar bear's toenails. My man, LL Cool Tones. What's up, my guy?
What's up, Prowl Nation, and good morning.
All right, y'all see the rugged exterior behind him. He is the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. Who?
Coach Jones. Who is Coach Mike Jones? What's going on, Lion fans?
Let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. Welcome back to the show, people. Now we're going to start this offensive review for the season. Y'all know them. Their ladies' pet. Their men's regret. You ain't seen nothing. Yes. The cuffing king, the cuffing season king, my man, LL Cool Torrance. Come on, my man. Talk to me about this offense.
I don't think you should spread such would that be propaganda? I am not the cuffing season king. Don't even want to be. But thank you for the intro, Curt. On this taco slash two-piece Tuesday, we're gonna look at the offense overall and these guys' favorite player, Jared Goff. Just real quick, some of the offensive numbers, or some of the offensive leaders, I should say. Passing yards, of course, is our starting quarterback, Jared Goff, with 3,245 yards. Our leading rusher on this season was DeAndre Swift with 617 yards, even with missing a few games. Leading receiver is that guy, the Sun God, coming in at 912 yards. Tackles, I'm sorry, we only looking at defense. We only looking at offense. Sorry about that. Just to start off with the quarterbacks. Of course, our starting quarterback was Jared Goff. I mean, missed a couple of games this year. He only played 14. He came in with 332 completions out of 494 attempts. That's a 67.2 completion percentage. 3,245 yards, average of 6.6 per pass. 238 yards per game. The longest pass of the year was 63 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks, 35 sacks, and an overall rating of 91.5. I'm going to see just how quick I can pull up those rankings, but just to see how he matches up around the rest of the league. We also, a couple of another quarterback got some playing time, and that's Tim Boyle. He got to see time in 5 games, and that is with 61 completions, 94 attempts, 64.9 completion percentage, 526 total yard or overall passing yards, 5.6 average, 3 touchdowns and 6 picks. Some other guys actually threw touchdowns. We have Tom Kennedy and Jack Fox. Tom Kennedy threw a touchdown. Jack Fox just threw a couple of passes for first down. Overall, I think we started out decent on offense, and we took a big dip. And once the play calling duties were given to our head coach, MCDC, things kind of changed. It took a little while for him to get some traction, but things slowly picked up. We picked up a couple of key pieces, one of them being Josh Reynolds, who Jared Goff had some past time with, and that seemed to actually help him out a little bit. I personally say throw to whomever is open, but whatever's clever, right? If that's how you got to get them to work out, that's how you got to get it to work out. Sometimes you got to put a whole lot of sugar on that shit to make it sweet. maybe that's what Josh Reynolds was for our guy Jared Goff. At the season's end, we only ended up with 3 wins. I don't think that was indicative of how things went with the offense at all. Offensive line stepped up big time this year. In my opinion, this is the best offensive line that I've ever seen here in Detroit. Excuse me if I'm a little bit too young for some of the other ones. But, we had Taylor Decker miss some time and come back. Our starting center was out, and we had a whole new rookie on the scene that filled in where we needed him to fill in, and I think he did pretty admirably. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. Overall for the offense, like I said, up and down most of the first part of the year, turned around when Dan Campbell took over the play calling. And the news just came out yesterday that Anthony Lynn has decided to part ways mutually with Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Just didn't work out. I just think it was an ego thing. Got his feeling hurt when Dan Campbell took over the play calling, but I think that was the best thing for the Lions. It opened up the offense. Ben Johnson taking over as passing game coordinator definitely helped the Lions kind of really revolutionize their offense. It got some different route structures, and it wasn't the traditional passing offense. A lot of different plays. It kind of opened that playbook up, especially a lot of trick plays where they could execute. They executed them to the T. The Lions were a fun team to watch on offense that second half of the season. They ran the ball effectively, used play action pass, which is Jared Goff's strength. But as for the most part, even with Tim Boyle, when he came in and took over, he wasn't bad, you know what I'm saying, in the spot duty that he had taken over for Jared Goff. He had that one interception down there in Atlanta where it cost us the game. But as far as him overall, he didn't play as poorly as I thought he would in backup duty. People were calling for David Blau, but I don't think David Blau would have did much better than Tim Boyle during this season. So if you look at it overall, I like the offense, what the direction that it's heading, but I'll break down the wide receivers and running backs in a minute. But what you think about the offense overall, Coach Mike?
Offense overall was a little stagnant coming out the gate. I think they were kind of trying to find themselves. They came around the corner once, Dan Campbell took over play calling. Our running back stable is it's pretty good, man. We kind of had an even keel across the line when guys came in, and I think that's what we wanted here in Detroit. The receiving core, I'll let y'all get on that, but I believe we got to address that early in the draft. Early. I'm talking about earlier than what we waking up right now. Overall, I don't think it was that bad, and that's just so surprising to say about a 3-13-1 team. Like, the overall consensus, I think, of America was like, it really wasn't that bad. But really, if you look at it, like, it was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about the wins, that the walk-off, it was like 3 or 4 walk-off losses that we had, and things like that. We were in every game except for, I believe, 2.
Yeah,
2 or 3 games. Yeah, it was against Denver, against Seattle, I think against the Packers, it got a little out of control in the second half. But other than that, we was in every single game. So I think it was a learning experience. So offense, I'm not too pressed about it right now. I think it's going in a good direction.
And we were in that Seattle game until, kind of late. Like, we had a chance, we actually, made them step up their intensity. They had to maybe change the in-game plans that they had. They thought it was going to be a little bit easier of a ride out. But just to look at some rankings, Jared Goff was 12th in completion percentage and in yards per game, so not that bad. 20th in touchdowns, and the Lions' offensive rank is we are in there's a bunch of us tagged. Well, no, we're not. We're at probably like the middle of the pack. I can't count it right now because we're on camera, but we're at the middle of the pack with 322 yards per game. I'm gonna look at the rushing yards real quick. Just for the total season, we finished with 1,800 rushing yards, 1,886 rushing yards. I'm saying that correctly. That's about if you can remember, like, when we gave our predictions in the early part of the season, some of them were saying like around 16, 17, 1,800 yards. So pretty good. And rushing, we rank probably in the middle of the pack as well. So offensively, I think it's a lot that we got to work on, but I think they're going to get there with or without you guys as friend and quarterback. But if you like this content, go ahead and throw us those thumb up. Click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave us some comments. You may see us in the comment card. What's that family discussion? What's that family discussion topic, Curt?
All right, so my family discussion topic for today for the Prowl Nation family is give us your thoughts on the offense. Let us know how you think the offense performed this season and your thoughts on how they will build going forward. So drop it down in the comments down below of this video. And you know how we do it. We pick 6 of them things to read on the next show. Now it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the other position groups. My man LL took those quarterbacks. I'm going to go with those skill position, 2 out of the 3, running backs and wide receivers. Wide receivers definitely are up first. The Lions wide receivers had its issues with injuries from the start of the season. They lost their 2 top options at receiver, Tyrell Williams and Quintez Cephas, 2 season-ending injuries early in the season. The Lions had journeyman returner and wide receiver Khalif Raymond and longtime special teamer Kadero Hodge starting with the Sun God Amon-Ra St. Brown for the first part of the season. Now, Brad Holmes traded for Broncos practice squad wide receiver Trinity Benson, who had a great preseason, but he spent most of the season injured or in the backup role. Tom Kennedy, who has been on the Lions practice squad for at least a decade, no, I'm just joking, but for a few years, saw some spot duty at wide receiver this season. You know, he threw the touchdown in the last game. The passing game struggled for the first 8 weeks of the season. The Lions then signed a familiar face for quarterback Jared Goff halfway through the season. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Former Rams wide receiver Josh Reynolds to the active roster after he got cut by the Titans. The addition of Reynolds, along with Dan Campbell taking over that offensive play calling with Ben Johnson, the passing game came together for the second half of the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown set the league on fire with some great numbers after the Week 9 bye, setting several franchise and league records for rookie wide receivers in the process. He led the Lions in receiving yards and touchdowns. Man, that dude had a good year. Raymond had a solid year as well, finishing 3rd in receiving yards. Reynolds has expressed, now this is Josh Reynolds, in returning to the D. Wide receiver is still a position of need headed into next season for the Detroit Lions. It has to be.
Is it?
You have to address the wide receiver position. Now, I like Reynolds coming back. You add another piece here or there, and I think we're going to be good. Now, on the other hand, there was not a lot of turnover in that running back room. Swift and Williams, the Swifty and Swaggy show, were the featured backs. They led the team in rushing. Swift was 617 yards, and Jamal Williams was 601 yards. Now, they both missed some time due to injury. Now, those backup running backs held it down, and production in the running game stayed consistent throughout the year. Safety turn running back Godwin Ikwebikwe ran hard in spot duty, but he fell out of favor when he started coughing up that ball, man, losing 2 or 3 fumbles in consecutive games.
That boy was fumbling.
Rookie running back and 7th-round draft pick Jamar Jefferson had a less than stellar rookie season due to a lack of carries, but he also spent some time on the shelf due to injury. Now, the surprise of the season, y'all know who it is. Preseason superstar Craig Netflix Reynolds. He went from having to introduce himself in the huddle in his first preseason game, being on the practice squad for the bulk of the season, to earning a spot on the active roster, signing a contract through the 2022 season. The Lions running back room is in good shape for the time being. Man, I'm liking the fact that we can actually say in Detroit we have a running game. That is something that we haven't said in a very long time. We have
in my lifetime. Well, not my lifetime, but in a very long time. Sorry.
Yeah, but since Kevin Smith, you're looking at and even after that Reggie Bush, we haven't had a consistent running game in a long time in Detroit. We ranked in the bottom of the league, and for us to rank in the middle of the pack for rushing in the league, having close to 2,000 yards as a team, as a collective, that is really good going forward. I like the running back stable that we have, and I like the way that Deuce Staley is coaching the running backs. I'm looking for if we can keep DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams and Craig Netflix Reynolds healthy and happy for next season. that running back by committee will be something to be reckoned with for a couple of years to come. You know, running back is one of those positions where it's a heavy turnover. You don't get a lot of time playing running back in this league. So if you get a second contract with one team, you're doing a whole lot of good on that roster. So, but that's my season review for those wide receivers and running back. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and like it, share it, comment on the video. Go over and check us out on Live Nation Unite. It's the one-stop shop for Detroit Lions fans. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your homes for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Go over and get some gear on fanatics.com while you're over there. Pick up some gear. The Lions, I rock their gear all year long. And I know you do too, because you probably rep your team no matter what. So get yourself some gear at fanatics.com. The link is in the description. A small portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow the content on this channel. And if you want to get yourself some Lions on the Prowl gear, go to lionsontheprowlshop.com. Rock some Prowl Nation gear. Kneecap binders over there. What up, those shirts is over there. Prowl Nation family, and that Hawk of Mania shirt running wild is over there as well. Now it's time to go over and check out my dude, the man, the mellow. Get on the mic, because you eat Jello. My man, Coach Mike, will talk about some line and the tight ends.
Okay, you didn't switch it up. I like that. I think the biggest question of the offensive line coming out to start the season was, what are we gonna do with Big V? I think Big V is safe. In my honest opinion, I think he got his Polynesian brother on the right side of him, man, and him and Penei Sewell have formed a bond. I just don't think Big V's going anywhere. If anything, he'll take a pay cut or he'll restructure that contract. But Big V ain't going nowhere, man. Not as long as Penei Sewell is here. So everybody else on the offensive line played pretty good. Unfortunate, Frank Ragnow was out. He went on IR. Taylor Decker didn't even start the season, and I believe that Taylor Decker not starting the season wasn't my favorite thing to say. It was a blessing in disguise, because I don't think if Sewell wouldn't have moved to that left side, I don't think he would have caught on so quickly to the right side. I think he had to get his ground underneath him, his bearing underneath him, and get this little kick step on and all of that, man. And when he moved to the right side, I think he just found it was a little bit easier to deal with things on that right side, and it was on the left. I think when Taylor Decker came back, he said, "Oh yeah, you can have that, bro. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good over here." So that's all in all with the starters. I think we have 3 backups on the roster right now. I think Matt Nelson has solidified himself as the right tackle, as a backup right tackle. I don't know if he can be a swing tackle or not.
Yeah,
I haven't really. You think so? I didn't see him play any left tackle. I
shouldn't say swing tackle, but like the extra tackle, like they just put extra offensive lineman.
Yeah. I don't know if he can play that left tackle, because Penei Sewell, it's a little bit of adjustment. But him, Evan Brown, I think he's solidified his spot, definitely. Tommy Kramer. I think Tommy Kramer is I think those 3 have solidified their spot on this team. I think we'll carry one more lineman coming in, but I don't think he's on the roster right now. I think he'll be a guy drafted next year. I think guys like Ryan McCollum, look, he gotta go back to he gotta go to the weight room. He can come to my house. You know what I'm saying? I get him right. You know what I'm saying? And because he was getting stiff on Sunday, man. So but I think big guy, I can't think the tackle.
Big V?
The backup, Dan Skipper. I think he'll get practice squatted. He just seems to hang around that practice squad. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those. He's just always gonna be here. Like, oh, Dan, I didn't even know you were still here. You know what I'm saying?
The Tom Kennedy.
Yeah. And the last person I'm gonna address. because he's still a question mark, a mystery. We know nothing about this guy, and that is Logan Stenberg. Like we still this is the third season, and we still don't know about Logan Stenberg. So I think he might just get practice squad because he's on a rookie contract. I believe he has one more year, so he's gonna have one more year to kind of develop and show. So he better get his Pilates on, get some yoga on, get loose, get stretched out, like Jim used to say. And get himself together, man. But I think all in all, offensive line is good. I think we'll add 2 or 3 more pieces that come in and fight on that practice squad to make the roster. I think that one tackle, one left tackle, kind of back up to back up Decker and Penei Sewell. And I think all in all, the offensive line is good. That's the least of my worries right now. Is the offensive line, man. They are good to go for 2022. But hey, if you like this content, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, help us get this content out to more Lion fans like yourself. And what is next on the menu, Curt?
All right, so right quick, we can't leave him out. We got to address the tight end position. You got T.J. Hockenson. Hopefully he can come back. Surprise of the season. Another surprise of the season was the play of tight end Brock Wright. It wasn't a surprise for Jim because Jim always bigged up Brock Wright. He said he's better than what I think he is. He Brock Wright. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, but I think that if you add another piece, I think you can. If Brock Wright goes and attends the tight end U with T.J. Hockenson in this offseason and go out to work with those guys, he could be one of those a valuable piece to for the Detroit Lions at tight end. You add another backup tight end, and I think we're going to be good going forward at the tight end position. But coming up next, what we got to do, man. We got to zip our lip and see what you had to say about yesterday's show. It's time for the comment cards, baby. You know how we get down. First up, we got Paul Tompkins. Man, what up, Paul? P Money. All right, so I say I love the fact this team continues to improve throughout the season. Dan Campbell gets my vote as coach of the year. He turned this team into a bunch of believers. Should be fun to watch this offseason. Go Lions. I got a question for you guys before we move on. Would you like to see the Lions on Hard Knocks with Dan Campbell?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't, because I don't like that. That Hard Knocks is to me, it's so phony. I don't want to see that. Like I end up hating this team.
Okay, go ahead. What you got next, LL?
The next comment is from friend of the show, the artist formerly known as PC Payload. He says, F the first overall when we have a chance to beat the Cheesehead. Second pick is no consolation. We will still get a blue chipper and probably the most desirable slot for trade backs if we want even more draft capital. Winning like that is beneficial to an entire team. One draft pick does not have anywhere near the same development value. I agree, PC.
Mm-hmm. John W. says, great show. I agree 100%. This team is headed for better days. With all the injuries the Lions suffered this year, coaching staff has had this team playing hard to the end. I agree with Coach Mike Jones. Thank you very much. Jared Goff deserves another year with the way he closed out the year. Go Lions. Then now I think even anything needs to be said.
I know LL looking cross-eyed right now.
Y'all gonna get enough. Y'all gonna get exactly what you want. He gonna stay here, and then you like, man, I hate Jared Goff. We should have traded him a long time ago. And I'm gonna say, I told you so.
All right, next up we got bronze member of the Wall of Fame, Bubba Bo. What's good? He says, seen a lot of people saying around the NFL community saying it's hard to root against Dan Campbell. Yeah, it is. Dan Campbell is who he is. Our social media team also has done a great job this year creating young Lions fans. I think so as well. Now let's put that to good use and make the playoffs next season, baby. And that Craig Netflix Reynolds graphic was top notch. That thing was next level. So they really do a good job over there at the Lions social media department.
Yes. Mark Simpson says, I have a question for you guys. Do you think Jim Harbaugh will leave Michigan for the NFL?
No.
I think he might. I don't think he should, but I think he might.
I think he's building something big.
Yeah.
Michigan just got they're in the top 5 top 10 recruiting classes. This was some of the guys they signed on signing day, and they're creeping up close to the top 5. So I think he's building something. I think he's going to build a legacy. I think he's going to be the long-term solution in
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan had a couple of top 10 recruiting classes, but I don't know. You probably right.
Man, he have you seen how he looked like Jim Harbaugh looked like Bo Schembechler now?
Yeah.
Like he ain't going nowhere.
He's turning into his old coach. That's what
he looked like a young Bo. Jeffrey Inglesby says, I really feel the Lions exposed the Packers defense for what it is. Not so good. Yeah. Whoever the Packers opponent is in the playoffs, I'll be watching the game and stealing some offensive trick plays from the Lions. The Packers truly weren't ready for any trickery. I'm with LL. FTP.
Yeah, we always FTP right here.
Oh,
Detroit Lions
long,
man.
Absolutely. Thank everybody for your comments. Big FTP, of course. There's a few people that left comments as well. Big shout out to those guys that didn't make it. Keep leaving those comments though. Great show yesterday. A lot of comments. Leave some for tomorrow's show. Sliding from there on over to everyone's favorite show on this Tuesday, and that is, or everybody's favorite segment on the show on this Tuesday, and that is the Dessert with our man Curt.
All right, Dessert with your man Curt is brought to you by Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. You can go over and check her out at Facebook, at Delightful Bites on Facebook.com, or you can go over to her TikTok or Twitter. Man, you're going to make yourself hungry going over and checking out the pictures on Instagram as well. So Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. So Black Monday struck the NFC North hard yesterday. Man, it was swift and hard. The Chicago Bears, to Val's Bordeaux's delight, fired Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy yesterday. And also with the Minnesota Vikings firing Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman yesterday. So you got some turnover in the NFC North. For what that means for us, for the Detroit Lions, I think that opens up that slot and for us to go ahead and try to get a control of this division going forward, because we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers up there in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. So if that turnover continues to happen and coaches get fired and personnel gets leaving, that opens the door for the Detroit Lions. And I'm like,
for us, baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think we're in line to make some moves in the NFC North in the next couple of years. So, but Black Monday struck hard. And I'm not celebrating coaches getting fired. Don't get me wrong, but here's my thing. They're not like players, because what happens with players when they get fired? They stop getting paid. Coaches keep their have to pay their contract completely out for coaches. So, the coaches getting fired, they still don't get their money down no matter to the end of their contract. So, I think Charlie Weiss is still getting money from like 4 or 5 jobs. So, so Black Monday struck hard yesterday at the NFC North, but you look at that, I think that opens the door for the Detroit Lions, and that's your dessert with your man Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Now it's time for us to take that quick stroll on over to the Wall of Fame. Definitely for our bronze members, we got Jimbo G. We got my man David Anderson holding it down in the building. Bubble Bo was definitely holding it down. Thank you for that comment today. Silver members, we got Shannon Peck in the building. Kept ice cold. We got the Batman of the 313, and he helped us save whatever left of this season, man. Thank you for that, because when you did that, when you shone that light up on there, we got that offense rolling the second half of the season. You know what I'm saying? We went 3-3-1 that second half of the season. I'm liking that. And then Michael Huck, Larry McQuiston, Bob Korowski, and the Dr. Detroit is always on our gold members side of the Wall of Fame. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the join now button down in the description. It'll cost you a little bit of money. It ain't free like it is to become a member of the Detroit Lions and the Prowl, but you know, it helps us grow the content on this channel. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. LL, give me your final thoughts of the offense for this season.
Final thoughts of the offense this season. I like it. This is kind of what I was hoping for, as far as The run game, offensive line, not so much from our quarterback. But hey, whatever's clever, man. If we can work out with him here, I'll be talking about junk the entire time. But a win is a win. I don't really care. I'm more focused on that part of it. I do hate Jared Goff, and I'll probably hate him when he starts playing better. But as the facts change, so can my opinion. I'm not that big a fool. I don't just be hating people, just be hating them. But great, well, good year. Could have been a lot better. Fell short of a lot of people's expectations. Don't really matter. We building something here. Good job, guys. Great job on the field.
Right on. My final thoughts for today is I'm just excited to see who the new offensive coordinator will be now that Anthony Lynn is gone. I'm in favor of Deuce Staley being the offensive coordinator, although I think Ben Johnson will probably be the offensive coordinator because him and Dan Campbell together worked on play calling. After Anthony Lynn was after he was yanked to that job. So I know but all in all, it was a pretty good offensively, man. We like we said from the very beginning, we got backups to the backups to the backups plan, and at receiver, and a lot of those guys probably won't even be on the roster next year. So all in all, we did pretty good on offense. We running game was good, was dominant. For the first time in a long time, we in the middle of the pack. We actually can run the ball. So I mean, we should all just be off of that alone. But Jared Goff, man, I would like to see him get a number one wider. I think Josh Reynolds has solidified himself as a number two. I think he'll be the number two guy moving forward. So he'll be that wide. I think we missing an X receiver. We're missing that one guy on the outside. I don't think it's Quintez Cephas for the future. I think Quintez Cephas is more of a slot guy. Who kind of find a blanket in the offense or the soft spot in the defense, and kind of sit down and catch those passes. And when all said and done, the offense is going in a positive direction, man, and I'm just happy.
Hey, all right. So my final thoughts for this two-piece or Taco Tuesday, whatever you want to eat for lunch today. Definitely the offense had its struggles earlier in the season. To be honest with you, I just think that the philosophy of Dan Campbell and the actual play calling of Anthony Lynn did not mesh. And I think that's why they parted ways. I think it was mutual. I think it may have been an ego thing as well. Anthony Lynn was like, look, I was a head coach. I've been an OC before, and I never had someone take the play calling duties from me. But to be honest with you, that was the best thing for the team. And I wish Anthony Lynn luck going forward, because I can't say that he didn't do a good job, because some of the plays that were designed were good plays. It was just his game plan and play calling was off for the Detroit Lions. It did not mess with the philosophy of Dan Campbell. And you can see how the play elevated once Dan Campbell took over the play calling duties. It is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't mesh. And you can see how much it was of a change it was for the second half of the season when Dan Campbell took over. I'm not saying he's the best play caller in the universe, because he's not, but he did definitely do better than Anthony Lynn this season. But as far as the offense is concerned, I am excited about the future of the Detroit Lions. I love what we're doing on the offensive line. One of my and we'll get onto this later when we talk about coaching staff. One of my MVPs of this year is Hank Fraley. To do what he did with that makeshift offensive line, losing your Pro Bowl or All Pro center, not having your top left tackle for a good portion of the season, and still able to produce a consistent performing offensive line was a great coaching job, boy. Hank Fraley. So good job to him. Now, the grind is still going. It's Tuesday, man. Hey, we love you right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So be a part of Prowl Nation family. Click the subscribe button, click the like button, and follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. You can check out our handles right here on the screen. So go over and check us out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever you want to check us out. And we got the links right there on the screen. But it's time for us to get on out of here. So, whatever you ate, those tacos, those two pieces, whatever, get this napkin, them crumbs off your face. Finish your drink and get back to work, baby. And whatever you do in life, you got to Boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Coach Mike, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon. We love you, Jim.